Hello, and we're going harder mode on this one. And I just got my power supply right here, which is the Corsair CX550, and it's a 550 watt power supply. So if you weren't following this channel, my power supply recently blew up and it really took down an entire shop. No, it didn't burn down. It shorted out and the whole, the breaker of the entire shop went down. It's a pretty hilarious story. Anyway, but there you go. We have opened this box right here. I just wanted to show you guys what is included in this box. And to be honest, the last time I used a Corsair power supply, it was a 450 watt power supply, and to be honest, I would recommend every single one of you to get a power supply above your PC spec, because I was using a 450 watt power supply and I think it was pretty, and yeah, you're literally looking at me struggling to open a box of power supply. I don't know why it's so confusing. Just put a tab that says open here. This was so fun. I'm like, what? Why? Anyway, it opens from there. As you can see, this is everything you get. You get a manual. So look at this. There you go. You have a manual. It says safety and compliance. So everything you need to keep yourself safe. Anyway, who reads that? That's why I think my power supply blew up. Anyway, you get a power cord, which looks fine. It's really great. And this is the power supply itself. And it is heavy. And bro, you can as soon as I took it in my hand, I could do bicep curls with this and get jacked in a month or so. But anyway, it's great. I'll put that aside, and you can see it includes a few screws for your PC. So to connect your PC case anyway, and the forbidden candy, don't eat this. Don't put it in your children or anything. Just throw it out or just put it somewhere where no one will get to see it again. Anyway, we'll move this away and let's focus on the power supply. So it's wrapped in this what's it called again? I forgot what it's called. Anyway, it's wrapped bubble wrap. It's wrapped in bubble wrap, and yep, don't worry, I will try to crack it. And there were people in my room, so I couldn't really get all of it, but you can see it's a really nice looking power supply. It's pretty small for its size, and I know there is 1000 watt power supplies at this size, but it looks dense. Now anyway, if here's all the rails and stuff. If you can't read, that's unfortunate, but it's a pretty decent. It's has 44. Yeah, I had to pause for that. It's absolutely amazing to hear. Anyway, let's get back to the power supply. As you can see that there is your main AC line. There's a switch there. There's a really nice fan. And if you look in the power supply, if you notice, there's also braided cables, and it says danger high power. It's actually great because if you didn't know, your power supply using something called a chassis ground. So what it does is the grounding of your entire system is in the body of the power supply itself. So body is the ground. That's why you should always plug in with a 3-plug connector instead of a 2-plug, so it has a proper ground. Anyway, the cables are pretty nice, and the sleeve itself is also pretty great, and I think it does have all the connectors I need. So it has how many? 3 SATA power connectors, 2 Molex, and then 1 CPU power connector, because yeah, you don't need multiple. But I do think the SATA could there could have been more SATA connectors, but the previous one did have it, but yeah, this one doesn't. Anyway, now the cable of the power cable itself, it's nothing to write home about, but it's a really good cable, by the looks of it. It's a pretty generic type of cable. So we are getting our PC. See, now first we have to strip out the power supply that is already set, and look at that, we have a cool transition and a new frame. So I got switched to my wide angle. So I switched to my wide angle ultra wide lens in my phone. Basically, this is the whole thing is recording on my phone. Anyway, there you go. Now we have to unscrew this, unscrew that. I need a screwdriver for that. I don't know why I lost the thumb screw on that. So yeah, that's something. So yeah, you can see it's an absolute mess in here, and I don't tend to do a better job than this, because yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I don't actually know how to cable manage and stuff like that well, and I also lost 2 screws on my the glass panel, so that's something. Anyway, as you can see, everything is already unplugged, because like I said, I had to take it to the shop to check what the heck happened. So most things are unplugged, and you can see in here, there we go, you can see it's unplugged. That's the 24-pin connector, which is again, everything seems to be in pretty good shape. So I don't think the motherboard, there's anything particularly that wrong in the motherboard, but yeah, I don't know. And also, if you can see a leg, that's my friend holding the camera for me. So yeah, it was a joint endeavor. But anyway, also please don't mind the rust. This case is old, so we'll just get this out. We'll get all the other other cables out. So let me just get that out of there. Yeah, it was it took a bit to get it out. So yeah, there you go. It's finally out. And then yeah, I don't need this. Do I need? Okay, yeah. These are I think setup ports. So yeah, I think these are my setup ports. So do I need to get them out? I don't think so. Can I get? Also, there's like 2 hard drives in here which I have to get out. Let me just get that. Okay, there we go. And there is another one. So let me just see. You can see it's pretty difficult to navigate this jungle of wires that is here. But yeah, I try to do like as good of a cable management I can. So there we go. So with that out of the way, now I just have to open up the power supply itself. So let me do that. So there we go. We have got it out. So this is a Gigabyte power supply. It's a Gigabyte P450B, I think. Yeah. So you can see already that the power supply that I got is a bit smaller and it's pretty also heavier. I don't know why, but the jump from 450 to 550 seems a lot heavier. Yeah, I'm showing my friend over there that it's not that heavy. And as you can see, it looks pretty, I would say fine, because it is only, I think, 2 years old. So I didn't expect it to die this soon. So yeah, I think it has to do mostly with the GPU itself, because the GPU, I think the RX 580 does say it is recommended for 550 watts. So it does recommend to get that power supply, because although it's not a really powerful card, it's not a really efficient card. So it needs a lot more power than what it's providing. So yeah, and to be honest, it's a like again older card. I have to kind of get a new one. So yeah, for now we'll have to live with this. So I have to disconnect this. And to be honest, like having slimmer fingers does help here, but I don't have slim fingers, so it's a bit of a pain. But there you go. You can have a good look at this. As you can see, this does it is rated for 432 watts. So in the 12-volt rail, and here is the newer one, which is I think 12-volt 44 amps, and that is about in case anybody wondering how to calculate the wattage, you just have multiply the voltage with the like amperage or current, and you get the total wattage. There you go. Now we are on to the last phase of this, is reconnecting the power supply. As you can see, it really doesn't take that long to replace a power supply, in case you don't have too much. Like I don't have much, but if you have a lot of things like RGB controllers and stuff, this may get a bit hectic. But anyway, first I would say, like, if you have anything inside of like the case style I have, there is 2 hard drives on here. So if you have stuff like that beside the power supply, connect those before you put the power supply in, because it kind of gets like the wires kind of gets like really hard to get to places once you do that. Like once you put the power supply in, it's kind of locked in. You can't move around too much. But I just like to connect these 2 first and then put the power supply in, so I can like chuck most of the cable inside there without worrying about the length that I need for those 2 connections. And to be honest, I saved myself by using like 2 like NVMe drives like on the board itself, so I don't have to power those separately. That's great. Now there you go, those 2 are connected. And yeah, I just kind of tuck this cable in. And if you didn't notice that I kind of twisted the cable when I connected those 2, just so it sits a bit nicer in there. So let me just see. And always make sure the fan, like if you are mounting it on the bottom, your fan goes in the bottom, but so it has airflow to it. And if you have a case that like flips it around, it kind of just I don't know, like doesn't allow the power supply to breathe. Although it doesn't need a lot of cooling, like most power supply component can like technically can cool like without active cooling. But yeah, it's not really great because the heat sinks on this do get hot. Now, this is basically kind of like a full bridge rectifier, inverters, and all of that inside of this one machine. So sorry, inside of this one power supply. So there are things that needs to be cooled, like MOSFETs and stuff, but it's not something that's like it's large enough. The heat sinks on this are large enough that it can be cooled passive. Anyway, enough rambling about cooling. It's fine. But first, I have to kind of route the 24-pin connectors inside of the other side of my case, because the power supply goes from the behind, and then I have to find my CPU or GPU connector. So this is my GPU connector. I need to put it through here. And if any of you are getting mad, will you guys, those of you who like cable management, I would say, you know what, just stop watching right here. Just go away. You don't need to see the rest of this. Anyway, I'll just get the GPU connector inside, and then like I said, these are my fan connections. And yeah, I'm still on Molex because I don't have anything better at the moment. So yep, and it is a bit tight. That's what he said. Anyway, you can see that it's really like I can put it snugly in there. So let me try that. Yeah, it should go in there. There you go. So I would say this, if you are you're someone who is really on a time crunch, or if you just don't want to like cable manage that well, to be honest, the amount of cable I have in here, like no one will see this beside like me. So I don't care much. So as long as it's flush with the case, so it's not like going too high. And also here, as you can see, the CPU pin goes here, and I just kind of tuck it inside the, what do you call it, like garment or whatever. So yeah, as you can see, it gets tangled up and stuff, so I'm just untangling it and then kind of putting it along this line right here. So let me just put this, there you go, and I just tuck it inside of here, and surprisingly it fits, like the whole thing fits inside here. So I don't have to worry about this kind of like dangling about inside of the case, although it's not like the PC is gonna move too much, but you know, it's I guess sanity thing. So yeah, I think I didn't know, I'm getting shocked as I'm recording this, because sometimes my lips touch the mic and I don't have proper grounding on my like PC. I have to get to that very soon, so that's why I'm getting shocked and stuff. But anyway, now I'm connecting my SATA connectors. I usually don't need to unplug them to replace your power supply, but yeah, I would recommend unplugging everything just for your sanity. No, not sanity, I would say just for safety's sake. And also, if any of you are saying why don't you have a EST and all that stuff, I don't know. Everything is unplugged, so I don't think there is much that is connected. Anyway, I'll just route everything in here. So there you go. For now, I would say the system is like done. I just have to flip it over and connect as much as I can on this side, and then just go back there. So now first for 24 pin. So this usually does take a bit of force. Like if you get a really new power supply, the cables are a bit stiff, so you need a bit of strength to kind of connect it. I think see, I do tend to use a bit of force in here, but now if yours doesn't go like smoothly, it should be fine to use a bit of force. Alright, don't overdo it. Now we have the GPU, and this is the only one that kind of goes to here. It looks a bit bad, but yeah, whatever. I think yeah, mine only uses 6 pin, so I don't need like 2 of these. But if you are using a GPU that uses like more than I think about 300 or 400 watts, you will need I think 8 pins or something, 2 6 pins. Like you need 2 of this. And now this is the difficult part, the CPU connector. I like could not for the life of me to get this to work. So what I did is I opened the fan and then tried again. It was so funny. Me and my friend were laughing our thingamajigs off because it's like so hilarious, because both of us have really big fingers, and it really like it requires really delicate hand movements and really precise ones at that to kind of get it to work. So I was just disconnecting the fan, so unscrewing the fan, and the screws are stripped on this fan. So I was just literally just screwing it, and like I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but it was like I was screwing it, it wouldn't come off. So after a bit of pressure, I did. This is the hilarious part. I was struggling for a bit. I think it was a solid 15 to 20 minutes when I was struggling to get it. And actually, my friend also joined in on the action to get this freaking CPU connector to get into its place. And it was not, because it was such an awkward position. Because first of all, it was in top, and the cable is not really, like I said, it was a bit stiff because it's new. So it wasn't really getting in. And even like if we get it aligned, it wouldn't go in. If it wasn't, it was unaligned, it wouldn't work. So yeah, I struggled with it. And it's like, yeah, Fred, just unplug the CPU cooler. It's another hassle. So I didn't take the risk. I was like, you know what, whatever. But as soon as I cut the camera, my friend just joined in. We needed 3 sets of fingers to get this to work. So I finally got it in, and that's about it for my connection to the PC. And as you can see, there's not much connections on this system as well. And to be honest, if you are making a very minimal system, those are the 3 connectors that is very important. The motherboard 24 pin, if you have a GPU, the GPU connector, and the CPU connector on there. Also, the fan connectors are pretty important, but like I said, if you are on a really low, really affordable system, you don't even need those at some point. Anyway, that's about it for the connections, and yeah, let's take a breather. So there you go. Let me just unplug this. Sorry, plug this in, and let's just hope this works. So there we go, and let me just zoom in so I can show you guys that it is connected. Everything hopefully is working. So let me just power this on. I think the connection is from a UPS right there. You can see the detailed UPS. So let's turn on. I just need to connect my monitors. Oh no, the framing is a bit off because I don't think he could see, like my friend could see where it is. So yeah, so I have one display connector and the PC itself. As you can see, the display is lighting up, and now yeah, so the power connector that I was using was not working as well. So I think it has something to do with the rat kind of biting a few of its, or it may just have been unplugged because yeah, it got pulled and stuff. So yeah, we'll be using the new one, which is good because everything is fresh. So there you go. The RAM is lighting up, which is a good sign. It has power. Now let's just see if this boots up. Now if you are seeing that it takes a bit of time to boot up, and if you have a lot of RAM especially, your memory will do a memory training. It takes, like, depending on the platform, it does take very long time, but it is working. My display is turning on, my everything is lit up, the power is restored, and yeah, we have power. And that's about it for this video. If you did enjoy watching this video, let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It does help out a ton, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah, it works. So bye.